Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to another episode of The Final Cut, the show where we dissect deleted scenes from the script that could have redefined the movies that you know and love. And today we are diving into plot points in the Scream 4 script that changes everything you thought you knew about Jill, her motives, and her mother Kate, the seemingly random victim of Scream 4.
Welcome to The Final Cut.
Before we do that, we have some merch inspired by your comments. That's right. When we were doing the bracket challenge for best Ghostface and the best female characters in the Scream universe, all I kept hearing was Jill Nation. Well, represent Jill Nation with this t-shirt or hoodie. Go onto the store, pick one up, enjoy it. Take a look at some of our other subscriber-inspired shirts, including Stu's Clues. Now let's dive into this episode. On the surface, Jill and Kate seem to have a typical mother and daughter relationship. But what if there's more to the story? A dark secret that could explain Kate's demise and shatter your perception of her. Kate's death seemed nothing more than another puzzle piece in Jill's sinister plot in becoming Sydney. Just a small detail in her plan to emulate Sydney, not just as the survivor, but also the victim whose backstory combined elements of Billy Loomis and Sydney's. Hold on to your popcorn, Scream fans. Things are about to get twisted. In a cutscene from the film after the initial attacks that led to the discovering of evidence in Sydney's trunk, Sydney had gone back to the Roberts house with Rebecca. In the scene, there was an uncomfortable exchange between the two, which no longer featured some dialogue that would have humanized Rebecca a bit more. As Rebecca asked questions about Sydney's stroll down memory lane, conversation would drift towards Jill's family, and it would turn out that Jill's dad wasn't just absent, he was no longer in the picture, and it was possible that their split was messy. We already knew that Jill had a rough time with a boyfriend, but what if her family life was even more broken than we imagined? A cheating boyfriend, abandoned by a father, friends and family who were killed. All the boxes would be checked by Jill if her plan were to unfold successfully. But one would have to wonder, why her mom? In a cutscene in the film, we gained some possible insight into Kate's character, and her possibly having some of her own demons, like her sister Maureen, Jill's aunt and Sydney's mom.
It's all your fault, Sydney. Stay out of our town!
Sweetheart, I'm sorry. I took a sleeping pill. I drank wine. I don't know what happened. I didn't hear a thing. I can't believe Olivia. I apologize to the both of you. I don't want to talk about it. Are you in pain?
Could it be that Kate also struggled with addiction just like Maureen Prescott? And maybe that wasn't the only vice that the two sisters shared. Maybe Jill's father left Kate because, just like Maureen Prescott, not only was she a drunk, but she was also unfaithful. Well, here's the jaw dropper. An earlier script reveals the shocking reason behind Kate's death. Prepare to be chilled as we explore the cutscene that paints Jill in a whole new light. Okay, we're going to cut to the chase. We're going to go to the final act of the film. Kate has just been murdered. Deputy Hicks has arrived on scene and is taking Sydney to Kirby's house, where she has been attacked and lays outside wounded. Deputy Hicks soon meets a tragic demise inside the house, and we see Sydney running through Kirby's house and gets cornered upstairs between two familiar faces. Charlie climbs up the staircase behind her with a knife in hand, and by a familiar yet horrifying face that emerges on the opposite end of the hall. Still adorned in the robe and mask, a panic-stricken Sydney looks for a way to escape when she hears the familiar line. "What's the matter, Sydney? You look like you've seen a ghost." The killer pulls off their mask while walking towards her with the gun drawn, revealing Charlie's accomplice to be Jill. A stunned Sydney watches in horror as Charlie reaches the top of the steps and then pulls a bound Trevor out from a neighboring room before thrusting him down the staircase. An enthusiastic Charlie bounds down the stairs after him and gleefully presses his weight against his leg, which appears to have been broken in the fall. Jill, armed with Hick's gun, forces Sidney to follow them downstairs to the kitchen, where Charlie reveals a sick plan to frame Trevor and Robbie, mirroring the two as the next Billy and Stu.
I figured out yet, Sidney? Keeping with our remake theme, Trevor's this generation's Billy Loomis, and we're the innocent victims, Sidney and Randy.
But wait, there's more. Charlie then drops a bombshell about Jill's mother, Kate, that rewrites everything that you think you knew about her. This revelation, coupled with the clues about Jill's father's absence, paints a tragic and disturbing picture of Kate's life and her relationship with Jill. Charlie had once made out with Jill's mother when she was drunk, leading me to believe that not only was Kate unfaithful, but maybe this was not the first friend or boyfriend that Jill had this happen to. Would these deleted lines of dialogue have changed your perception of Jill's character? Was she truly seeking fame and fortune?
They're gonna see it. It's gonna be a worldwide sensation. I mean, people gotta see this shit. It's not like anyone reads anymore. We're gonna know fame like you never even dreamed of. What world are you living in? I don't need friends. I need fans. Don't you get it?
Or was she driven by a deeper, darker desire?
Do you know what it was like growing up in this family?
Scream 4 might be a fan favorite, and it's one of my personal favorites in the franchise. It's unfortunate that it failed in theaters because the film was far ahead of its time when it comes to requels and proper use of legacy characters being weaved into the story while establishing new ones. These glimpses into the removed dialogue, coupled with some of the deleted scenes, paints a slightly alternate story that offers a chilling exploration of family secrets, twisted desires, and the lengths people will go to for fame.
Okay, so who's the target here? I mean, is it me and Jill, or is it Sidney?
No, you can't kill Sidney. She's victim royalty. You gotta hit someone close to her.
Wait a second, it doesn't have to be Jill. Sidney Prescott's character has been gone since Stab 3. And plus, she's rejected her victimhood. I mean, she's practically slapped fate in the face.
That will do it for this season of The Final Cut. Thank you, and I appreciate you for tuning in and spending some time with me. It's always a great pleasure. I can't say that enough. Sometimes I forget because the ADHD has me going a different direction. But if this is something that you want to see continue in the future, let me know if you want to see some more Scream stuff, if you want to see some other horror films, and stay tuned to what we have coming next. Also, the likes. Drop the likes. Blow up this episode, blow up the other episodes because the YouTube algorithm has changed. Don't forget to get your Jill shirts. And until the next episode or the next show that you see me in, see ya.